Hello, everybody. Welcome to Section 31, Fuel System. Hey, if you're looking for plans built type stuff, this is not it. Everything that I have is drop in from Aircraft Specialty, aka TS Flight Lines. Steve there's such an amazing guy. If he makes it, I'm just giving him my money. Let's be honest here. Super awesome dude, super responsive to everything. Um, at the end of this, I'm going to have a video kind of explaining my auxiliary fuel setup. This right here is just showing where you would drill a hole for your fuel system if you're running EFII, which needs a return line. This is where your return line will go. I essentially put a number 30 bit through that and then gauged it out for an AN6 fuel line, because while I'm not running an EFII system, I will be running some ferry tanks. Yeah, so I'll explain that in the video at the end. The fuel pump, I am not running the Andair. I'm running the Airflow Performance fuel pump only because at the time of me making all of this stuff, I saw that the Andairs were failing somewhere around 40 to 100 hours, and it looks like the Airflow Performance is not doing that. Also to note on this fuel selector valve, it wants you to use Loctite, which is only available in the UK for like $80 shipping. So you'll see those 4 indents on those screws. I forget what that is called, but if you just take a punch and put that punch on the screw right next to the hole that's already made, then you can essentially make those screws the way that they're supposed to be, to where they can't unclock themselves out of there. So just use a punch. Don't go looking for that Loctite. There's the Airflow Performance pump. Countersinking for the screws and the faceplate of the fuel selector. Putting the fuel selector on. Note to other people, if you want to put in the elevator control rod, now is the better time. I didn't notice that little tidbit until I got to it. So definitely think about making those control rods. Here's just a quick setup to look at what an AN6 fuel line looks like on that top bit. I had to make some modifications. There's the Airflow Performance pump. It's clocked at like 1130 to make it fit up just right. And of course, Aircraft Specialty gives you everything you need for that. But yeah, those auxiliary fuel lines, just watch those, because if you're going to put something like that in, or you're thinking that's a great idea, when you gauge out that plastic, the metal behind it kind of rubs into it. So I had to come up with another solution to not have my stainless steel braided lines get rubbed through. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this section. I'm going to let the video describing the auxiliary lines take over now.
Okay, so quick update on the fuel system. I'm not running the automotive fuel injection like some people have decided to do. I'm just going with the simple fuel injected system, which does not need a return line. So since Vans on the RV14 has made it to where there is a system for the return fuel lines, what I am doing with these, and it's a hole that is already pre-made on this side, but I think it's like a number 30 hole that's pre-made, and then you have to just drill it out. But anyways, since I don't have a need for a return fuel line, I am making 2 auxiliary fuel lines so that I can tanker extra fuel and pump it into each wing. This line here, both of these lines will go through the armrest, of which I have laying right over there on that table. But anyways, so they'll come up and through the armrest. This one will attach to a 90 right about here that will be for the passenger seat. There is a turtle pack that works in the passenger seat, and then this line here will come out the back, something along the lines of that, for a turtle pack that's going to sit in the baggage area. Thus why I have these fancy little tie downs. You can see 2 holes in the very, very back, and it's on each side, that are made for other tie downs, which I just have not attached yet, but the nut plates are already in there. So I will have a way of essentially having a turtle pack back here. This turtle pack in the very back is going to pump to the right tank. This turtle pack in the passenger seat is going to pump to the left tank. One thing to note, if you are going to do this, you have to, ooh, the camera angle, there we go. You have to gauge out this top portion here, but then it sits up against this rib here. So if you are going to gauge that out, I would suggest already either doing a curvature here or being careful not to gauge this plastic part out too far. And then if we take a walk over to the workbench, you'll have to do the same thing on these plastic pieces. I'm using this type of a bit. I have no idea what that's called. Maybe like a carbide bit or something along those lines, to essentially get in here and gauge this out a little bit further.